this movie in a nutshell. What a beautiful day at the beach.
A few moments later.
I'm old now. What? Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we are reviewing the latest M. Night Shyamalan movie, Old. I am going to discuss spoilers, but I'm going to try and keep them at the end of the video so I can discuss the film very vaguely, put up a spoiler warning in case you guys do want to see it, and then that would be your cue to leave. If you don't care and you kind of want to know what you're getting into, then just hang around to watch the whole video. So Old, as I showed with my phenomenal acting there, essentially is a story of a bunch of holiday goers all going to a resort and being invited to a special beach, a private beach if you will. Only it doesn't take very long for disaster to start striking the beach, where they realise they can't leave. Every time they try to leave they pass out, people are randomly dying around them, people are aging rapidly, and essentially they're trying to figure out what's going on. Very typical M. Night Shyamalan situational psychological horror. Before we discuss Old, we should discuss how I feel about M. Night Shyamalan. I really like the guy. I really want him to do well. I don't know what happened to him though. There was just this period where he just fell off the face of the earth. His films took such a dive in quality to a point that I can't actually wrap my head around it. I can only assume he lost love of filmmaking, perhaps too much pressure, too much spotlight on one specific person. Perhaps we're also to blame, perhaps our expectations were far too high. But I don't think it's wrong to be disappointed in Shyamalan. The Sixth Sense is one of the first films I remember watching that made me go, I want to do that. That's what I want to do with my life. I want to give people the goosebumps on their neck, the moment of, oh my God, when watching a film, a story, something that's just gonna stay with you forever. That is how good M. Night Shyamalan can be. Sadly, Old did not live up to the expectation. This was much more in the miss category than the hit category for me. And what's really frustrating about Old is that it's the same problems with many of his other films. The dialogue. I don't know why this man cannot write dialogue for humans. I question how much time he spends with humans, because people don't talk like this. I saw it yesterday and noticed how poor the dialogue was between characters, between strangers. And then that same night I went out for a drink with a couple of mates and we bumped into other people and had conversations with strangers. And at no point did we talk like they do in this movie. Hi, my name is Jared. I am a 27-year-old nurse. This is my wife. She has epilepsy. You have a 4-year-old, 5-year-old whose quirk is that he goes around asking people what their name and occupation is, because that's how 5-year-olds operate. It is so unnatural, unconvincing, lazy. I'd actually describe it as lazy. I struggle to believe that M. Night believes people talk like this, but he just does it in all of his films. Just like in The Happening, where you've got John Leguizamo just talking about maths all the time. Even that creeps its way in here. There's a solid 5-minute section where they try and figure out what's going on by using maths, and I used to be a mineral data collectionist, and this means that if we do this, and 1 hour must equal 20 minutes, and it's just fucking dumb. Really fucking dumb. And the other real issue here is the pacing. It is all over the place. We get started relatively quickly. They don't muck around. You get to your situation within the first 10-20 minutes, I would have said. But as soon as you get there, you just sit and dilly and dally and fuck around for like a solid hour of what's going on? People are aging. How do we get out of here? What's going on? People are aging. How do we get out of here? What's going on? And it just keeps doing that for like a solid hour and a half in the middle of this film, and it gets to a point of tedious headache. All of the characters, generally speaking, are very self-centered assholes, so you don't really care about them or want them to succeed or do well. I don't know the actor's name, I will put it up here with a picture. He played a rapper called something like Mid-Size Sedan. if you know, that would tell you a lot about what I mean about when it comes to the writing and how unnatural it is. But a rapper called Mid-Size Sedan, he was actually really good. He was the only one for me who really seemed to be pushing the horror element. He actually had a bit of mystery about his character that you were a bit unsure about. I liked the fact that as it progressed, you actually learnt more about him, that those answers came to you. I thought he had a very different perspective to the other people around him as well, being somewhat famous and of money. I liked him entirely as a character. I didn't like anyone else at all, because they are self-centered, judgmental arseholes that are just can't focus in on the fact that you're on holiday with your family. Can you just leave your shit at home? Do you know what I mean? It's like, there you are, just dragging your baggage. I'm going to give Old a 4 out of 10. Okay, that's all I'm going to say about the film in a vague sense. Oh my god, what is my hair doing? Jesus Christ. So let's get into those spoilers. You have been warned. You have one guy who is a doctor, and he has a degenerative brain disease. They don't really ever say what it is. Borderline Alzheimer's, potentially dementia. You could even argue there's some sort of personality disorder involved. It's in that realm. But what's funny about it, and this shouldn't be funny, please don't think I'm laughing at people with this illness, but what is funny about it here is shit's going off. Like, things are going bad now. People are screaming left, right and centre. And just in the middle of all this screaming and chaos, you have the doctor slowly losing his mind, mid-surgery, just popping his head up and going, Jack Nicholson and Marlon Brando were in a fucking movie together. Who remembers the movie? Anyone? The guy is literally performing surgery, and he is just stopping it dead to discuss whatever this fucking movie was, and he does it like 5 times, and it's funny. It's stupid and funny. You have an Instagram babe model, you know, type of girl on there, and she's very artificial, and she has a calcium deficiency, and obviously the longer she stays on the beach, the longer she ages, the deficiency gets worse, and she starts to look a bit like Quasimodo from The Hunchback of Notre Dame. And they then play into this idea by making her kind of a creature feature. It doesn't work, because it's just a woman. It is just a woman slouching. She looks like a fortune teller that you would find at your local carnival. She doesn't look frightening. But it gets even funnier, because when she's chasing one of the good guys, if you will, her bones start to snap, and because of the age thing, the growing so quickly, her bones actually then fix in the position of which they're broken. So it's like they end up looking like freaking zigzags. But by the end, that is exactly what it is. She's just laying on her back, and her limbs are like a pretzel, just wrapped in and around each other, and this is meant to be terrifying. 2 6-year-olds grow overnight and have sex in a tent. Makes no sense, because mentally they're still 6, so they shouldn't be thinking about having sex. They shouldn't even be, they probably shouldn't even understand how that works. Physically they're 18, or a bit older or a little bit younger, so yes, physically they will be having puberty, growth spurts. It doesn't make sense to me what part works and what part doesn't. How do you go through puberty and naturally have the feelings of looking at women or potentially other guys and feeling an attraction to them, feeling a sexual arousement towards them, thinking they're attractive and wanting to spend time with them, get close to them? How do you have those feelings without your brain being able to process it? So how can you still be mentally 6 years old? That makes no sense. I don't get how your brain doesn't grow with the rest of you. I don't know. But nonetheless, 2 6-year-olds have sex, and that's fine. They give birth, and the baby dies immediately, because it's the time thing. Growing so quickly, and it's not getting the nutrients that it needs, that it's just going to wilt away. Dark as fuck, and you don't need it. And like I say, the fact that it came from 2 6-year-olds having sex just makes it even weirder and creepier. I so want M. Night to just fix up, just get his groove back, get his mojo back. He's a good director. Maybe he needs help with the writing. Maybe that's the way forward for him. I think he needs to just like sit at a bar one night with a pad of paper and a pen and just listen in on people's conversations in a very polite way. Don't be weird about it. But just listen to the world around you. Listen how people talk, how people act, how people interact with each other. Because I feel such a disconnect when it comes to M. Night movies and the communication of characters and just the characters in general. They're so weak. The twist as well, fuck me. So it turns out this beach is a medical research thing. By speeding up time, these doctors can basically, it's like a speed up on a test. So this person's got epilepsy that's on the beach. They've treated her with medicine, and her epilepsy dies down. It is only shown in like the space of a day, but obviously because of the time thing, it's actually been like 16 years. So actually, yes, if she hasn't had an epileptic fit in 16 years, chances are whatever you gave her is pretty damn effective. And that is the whole fucking reason of everything that's going on. There's no big why or why does time actually distill here. No explanation. The cliff faces on the beach, they very clearly have some sort of like god carvings in them. Never mentioned, that's not a thing. There's no sort of sacrifice or anything of the sort. There's so many things like that in this that are just red herrings or lead to nothing, and ultimately when you actually have the story in the whole, you're like, wow, that's really thin. There's no depth to that at all. Thanks for watching this review. Please leave a like, hit the subscribe button, hit the little bell icon so you don't miss any further uploads, and be sure to leave a comment. I would love to know what you thought of the movie. Did you like it? Perhaps I'm crazy, maybe I'm an arsehole for wiping my arse with this thing. Let me know in the comment section below. Take care, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video.